Okay, so let's see if we can clear up a few things about map reading. So this is a contour map that you're looking at here. And the things that we want you to be able to do with the contour map is first determine the contour interval. So when you're given a complete map, it'll usually just tell you what each of these lines represents in elevation change. When you're given a section, you need to calculate that yourself. And so how you're going to do that is you want to find these darker lines that are called index lines. So what you want to do is you want to find two that are adjacent to each other, right next to each other. Now this one doesn't have a number in it, but we could figure it out based on the fact that between this number, index contour, and this one, if we subtract those two values, we see that there's 200 feet of elevation change between this index contour and that index contour. Between this and this, there's 4, but it's consistent. So this one must be 2. So this is probably a 6,000 elevation line, a 58. So everything, the index contours, jumps by 200 consistently. Now, that's not the contour interval. The contour interval is the difference between each and every line. So the reason we want you to choose adjacent ones is because when you do that, this is broken up into 5 segments. And so all you have to do is divide whatever number you get from subtracting these two by 5, and you'll have the contour interval. So if we have 200 here, and we divide by 5, the contour interval should be 40 feet. That means every line represents a 40-foot change. So if I was to go up one line from the 62, I'd be 6240, then 6280, then 6320, and then 6360, and then 6400. I did it. Okay. So that's the contour interval. And the reason we want to know that, because if I said, hey, what's the elevation right at this spot here? You find the index contour, 56. You see that it's going up, so you're going to add 40. This line is 5640. So you can get elevations more exact than these things. So that's what we do with contour intervals. The other thing that contours tell us is how steep or gentle a slope is. And all we want you to be able to do in the basics is the closer the contour lines are together, the steeper. And so it's more of a comparing kind of deal. So if I said, is this area steeper or gentler than this area? We would argue that this is steeper because the lines are closer. The closer they are, the steeper. The farther apart, the more gentle. So if you had to hike from here to here, it wouldn't be so bad because you're only changing from here, 40, another 40. You went up 80 feet in that distance. If we took that same distance and kind of plotted over here, we'd go up 1, 2, 3, 4. Holy crap, that's a lot steeper. Okay, so that's the difference between contour interval and what we want you to figure out with steepness of slopes and things like that. As for symbols and letters and things like that, assuming we're talking about, let's see, our topographic maps. I'm going to bring that in really fast. So the couple things with, the geologic map. So geologic maps, remember, all the colors represent different rock types, and the symbols also represent different rock types. Because colors can look similar, we have a symbol also to tell us what rock it is. So if you're asked what's the symbol, it's just this right here, TC, right? Or TB right here. What does that stand for? Well, the one thing you do know is the capital letter always corresponds to the geologic age. And I gave you that time scale. You don't have to memorize it. You pull that up and you say, oh, T means tertiary. And so the geologic time is tertiary. If I wanted a number, you would go to the geologic time scale and look for the number range and give me the range of age that tertiary represents. If I asked you for the symbol, we'd come over here, TB. The name is the boldface thing. So this is basalt lava. That's the name of this rock unit. And it is tertiary in age, right? And then the description is just what's written here. So on the Arizona Geologic Map, it'll say, what's the description of something It's describing what rocks are grouped into this symbol. If it's metamorphic rocks, it might say metamorphic volcanic rocks. If it's a specific rock, it might say this is a sandstone and it was deposited in this type of environment. That's the description. But the rock name is the bold-faced part, and it can be like this, a formation called a Supai formation. It can be a rock name, a conglomerate, or a basalt, or it can be younger siliciclastic rocks, holy crap, or red wall limestone. Those are the names of the rocks. The symbols are here, and the description follows. Okay, so hopefully, I think that answered the questions that you were posing in your email. So see if that helps.